The CIA suspects somewhere in Pakistan, Osama bin Laden is in hiding.
You can see a new van has arrived with fresh prisoners.
Jail in Karachi is where terror suspects are brought. Since the London bombings, there's been a crackdown. But in Pakistan, nothing is as it seems. Cameras aren't often allowed into this high-security jail, but the governor had been authorized to speak to us. The Pakistani government wants the West to see what it's up against. Amanullah Niazi was running late.
It's incredible because I'm just being told that prisoners inside make a bomb out of sugar, sulfur and fertilizer. So anything that they can get, they're making bombs to try and break the jail.
Well-trained pupils.
Because they're trained. They
well-trained pupils.
Very well trained.
The governor knows he's a target.
For you, how dangerous is this job personally for you?
They throw boiling water mixed with some chemical and they burn my hand.
Oh God.
Since the days this terrorist activities starts in this country and other foreign countries, this job become more difficult. They also threaten us on our telephone by writing letters. Many times they threaten us.
What do they say?
Just to kidnap my family or kidnap my sons who are studying outside in the school.
Do you think that they change their mind in prison?
I think we tried our best, but I think they never change.
There are hundreds of prisoners here and around Pakistan accused of being members of either Al-Qaeda or violent new groups that share its cause. Since 9/11, a series of high-ranking Al-Qaeda members have been arrested in Karachi. They fled to Pakistan after America destroyed their bases in neighboring Afghanistan. Yet Pakistan's president, Pervez Musharraf, is playing a double game. One moment, he's profiting from being an ally of America. The next, placating Islamist opinion amongst his own people.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim.
Faced with evidence that linked Pakistan to the London bombings, the president told the West what it wanted to hear.
In the media being cast on Pakistan.
The president is discussing the current affairs where suicide bombings take place all over the world, and somehow the bombings, the people involved are always connected with Pakistan in some way. Either they've traveled to Pakistan or they've lived here or received training here, and he's talking to the public about the effect that has on the country.
Then he began to speak in Urdu to his own people. He said Pakistan risked becoming an international pariah.
I have never heard the president speak to the country the way he is speaking today. He's laying all his cards down, saying that yes, we supported the Afghan Mujahideen against the Soviets through Western funding, and later it was through the Pakistan religious schools that the Taliban was set up and the Taliban were created to go into Afghanistan. But we need to change that policy now. That was then. But this is now, we need to move with the changing times and really showing the connection of Pakistan and the Taliban, Pakistan and the Soviets to the general Pakistani public. That is new here. That has not happened openly in the past before.
We are together in the fight against terrorism. We need to remain together and fight it together.
But dig a little deeper and you find Pakistan's war against terror has been a limited one. The government has targeted foreign militants, but not homegrown ones. In Lahore, I arranged to meet the leaders of Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, a militant group fighting to drive India out of Kashmir. They see themselves as part of the wider Islamic struggle. America and Pakistan's government say they're terrorists, but they are still operating. They told me the government doesn't dare shut them down. They have too many friends in Pakistan's intelligence service. तो फर्क गवर्नमेंट के लैंग्वेज में तो फर्क आया ना, गवर्नमेंट की जबान में तो फर्क आया। अब वो कह रहे हैं कि आप सब टेररिस्ट हैं, सबको एक ही उसके अंदर कर दिया है ना।
कश्मीरियों का अपना एक मौकफ है कि वो हक़ खुदरादियत चाहते हैं, वो फ्रीडम फाइटर्स हैं। अगर पाकिस्तानी लोग जो हैं वो एज ए मुस्लिम उनके साथ बतौर सपोर्टर खड़े हैं।
Initially they were known as freedom fighters, now the government is calling them terrorists, and they said, well, they don't understand why the government is doing that and what policy they're following, because 80,000 people who've lost their lives in Kashmir didn't lose their lives for anything, they lost their lives for a cause, and that cause will continue.
अमेरिका जो था वो इन लोगों को ही मुजाहिदीन कहता था जब रशिया के अगेंस्ट लड़ते, ये वही लोग हैं। लेकिन वो ये कि उनके अपने मुफादात हैं, उनके अगेंस्ट जाने वाला वो मुजाहिद नहीं रहा। तो डेफिनेशन चेंज हो गई है।
I'm being told that when it suited America's purpose, according to them, they trucked these people up to fight against the Russians, but now these very same people are fighting them, they've suddenly become terrorists.
65 की वॉर के बाद
They also said that officers in the Pakistani army were sympathetic to their cause and appalled by Musharraf's pro-American policies. I was asking them about the role of the Pakistan Army, and they said that the Pakistan Army was considered a hero before, but since 9/11, most Pakistanis don't see them as heroes at all. They see them as traitors because they have supported the United States. They've captured over 700 Muslims and they've handed them over to the Americans, and they're not really considered heroes anymore. So there's been a change in perception of the Pakistan Army by the people. The gulf between Pakistan's rulers and its people is widening. I'd been told the previous day a Guantanamo Bay detainee had finally returned to his home. We were warned his house was under surveillance. The authorities are hoping he'll lead them to someone in Al-Qaeda. Hafiz Ehsan's stories of torture in Guantanamo have made him a folk hero. He says out loud what most ordinary Pakistanis think, that America is at war with Islam. Pakistan is considered the stronghold of Islam. Here we have Islamic religious schools, jihadis, people willing to die for the cause of Islam, and people who go and preach Islam. And that is something, that is why the rest of the world wants to break up Pakistan, because it's also the only Muslim country in the world that has a nuclear program, and it's in people's vested interest to see this country break up. But he's saying that nobody will allow that to happen in Pakistan, and people will lay their lives down, because Islam was the reason this nation was founded on, and that's the reason that it should stay. We return to Karachi. President Musharraf's alliance with America and his reluctant tolerance of homegrown militants has led to Pakistan enduring terrorism and suicide bombs, some linked to the militant group I'd met earlier. In Karachi, there have been 5 major suicide bombings and countless car bombs and shootings aimed at destabilizing Musharraf's government. 2 months before, Ghufran Haider pushed a suicide bomber out of a crowded mosque. There were 16 pieces of the shrapnel from the bomb that hit him. He's already had 4 operations. He's had 18 arteries that have been affected, and they say that he's got a second lease on life. He remembers getting up and seeing glass all around him. He sees the leg of the suicide bomber around him, and he calls for his brother, and then he remembers being taken to the hospital. Ghufran is now receiving death threats for having dared to foil the attack. He said, well, if his life would perish and save 40 or 50 people inside the mosque, he'd be willing to give up his life for it.
मुँह छुपाने के लिए उनको जगह नहीं मिलेगी, कहाँ कहीं दुनिया में हर जगह.
If people unite, if people come forward, the terrorists won't have any place to hide. They won't have any place to go. It's only through cooperation that they can eliminate these things.